Okay, that's about right. To begin with,
Hey.
you should not...
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hey, what are you doing? I have to give a demonstration.
Of how to drink. Yeah, I heard. But why tell people how to drink? Doesn't that imply that they should?
Well, I don't mean to. It's just that, well, drinking is pretty much a part of our way of life. All you have to do is look around.
Okay, so Americans drink. But even those who do sometimes have mixed feelings about the subject.
And that's why it's so difficult to decide whether or not to drink. Now look, can we agree on one point? Whatever the decision, it should be made by the individual, influenced only by his or her personal feelings and beliefs.
Agreed.
We're in business. Did you want something else?
Oh, no, nothing. Nothing else.
Aren't you leaving?
Oh, no. Go right ahead. Don't mind me.
To begin with, alcohol
About that sign.
What sign?
That how to drink thing. I mean, what's the point?
Look, it's simple. Alcohol is strong stuff. Technically speaking, it's a drug, a depressant that affects the behavior of the drinker. So if you're gonna drink, you darn well better know how to handle it. Better?
Better.
Many thanks. And now, if you approve, I'm going to offer some introductory information about alcoholic beverages. Alcoholic beverages fall into three broad categories: beer, wine, and what is referred to as hard liquor. Beer and wine usually contain less alcohol than the hard liquors, but they still can be potent. They still can make you drunk. Hard liquors come in a variety of names: Scotch, rye, brandy, gin, vodka, bourbon, to name the most common. Their strength is determined by alcoholic content alone, and not by appearance or even taste. Some, for example, are colorless and innocent looking, but what looks like plain water may be vodka or gin. When served mixed, they may look pretty and taste as sweet and innocent, but the alcoholic content is always there. Interesting?
It's a good start. But you need more information on the effect of alcohol on the drinker.
Oh, that's not so simple.
Oh, sounds simple enough.
I mean, only theoretically. I mean, it's true that basically the effect is determined by how much alcohol is consumed in a given amount of time. But there are other complications. For example, drinking on an empty stomach allows the alcohol to get into the bloodstream more quickly, so the effect will be felt more quickly. Body weight is another complicating factor. A few ounces of alcohol may have much less effect when absorbed into a large body than into a small one. Alcohol can also hit you harder if you're ill or tired or run down.
Okay, so you have size, general physical condition, whether or not your stomach is full. Now, those are all simple enough to consider, aren't they?
Yes, but it's still not so simple. Sometimes individual reactions break all the logical rules.
So how do you determine your own limits?
By drinking slowly enough to begin noticing the effects of the alcohol before you've had too much. For example, consider 3 shots of hard liquor. Now, each glass is pretty small, so it's no big deal to down them one after the other in a short time. But that means that they're being consumed before their effects are felt. Then suddenly, whammo, you may be drunk or even sick. But suppose we take the same amount of alcohol and mix it with water, or a soft drink, or fruit juice. That gives you a better chance to consume it slowly, a sip at a time, in no rush at all. It isn't hard to take a half an hour or even more to empty just a first glass. By the time you get to the second drink, you're already feeling the effect of the first, but you're still in control. You're capable of making the decision to go no farther if that's what you want. And if there is a second drink, or a third one, you're in control all the way if you take it slow. See what I mean? You've handled drinking.
Well, that's okay as far as it goes. But what if everybody else is still drinking and they pressure you to keep up with them?
You always have a choice. You can always say no.
Well, sometimes you can't. You could kill your social life or lose friendships.
A social life and friends that demand heavy drinking may not be the best kind to have.
Actually, I agree with you. I'm just feeding a straight line so you can make your point.
Well, anyway, as we agreed earlier, every individual must make his or her own decision about drinking. You might say there's a choice of 3 categories. Category 1, the non-drinkers who avoid anything alcoholic. Category 2, those who use alcohol, but with intelligence and control. Above all, they know when to stop. Category 3 would be the abuser of alcohol. The heavy drinker, the uncontrolled drinker, the alcoholic.
You mean the poor soul who winds up on Skid Row?
Not necessarily. Alcoholics come in all sizes and shapes, in all walks of life. They drink because they can't help themselves. For escape, because they can't face life. They don't always end up in the gutter or jail or a mental ward, but very few manage to avoid the accidents, the broken careers, the ruined marriages and families that are the alcoholic's standard payoff.
Don't want to see us anymore because we don't do much, and the house isn't really kept very well, and I thought, you know, maybe you'd stop drinking a little bit.
Sounds sort of grim. Hopeless.
Hopeless? No, not hopeless. Not if the alcoholic gets help.
From where?
Lots of places. There are many organizations around that'll help, and some just for young people with drinking problems.
Well, how do you find them?
Phone book. Ask a doctor. Ask a teacher. Ask a parent. Ask an uncle. Just ask. Help's around if you ask for it.
Okay, how many times has it been really bad this week? Huh? No, come on now. It's been bad this week. I know it's been bad. You've got to admit it's been bad to yourself before you know that you're actually going to solve the problem, right? Huh? Yeah. Because every time you ignore that time, every time you just pass over that time when you really want that drink, you're not facing the problem that particular time, and it's a step-by-step process. You've got to know it each time, look it square in the eye, and decide, I'm not going to have a drink right now. Don't worry about the next year, the next month. Look to it each moment you want that drink. What do you think about that? Do you look at it each time when you want that drink? Can you actually say no to that drink, or do you have dreams? What about it? Huh?
You almost finished? Time's running out.
Just about. I only wanted to throw in 3 more points. Don't think that coffee can sober you up if you've put away too much alcohol. It may help you keep awake, but that's all. Never, repeat, never mix alcohol and medicines or drugs of any kind. That's a deadly combination. And know your own limits. Know when to stop. And that's it. Well?
Well, what?
Well, what'd you think? How'd you like the presentation?
My opinion isn't important.
Well then, whose is?
There.